Hi, it's Ken Ham, President of Answers in Genesis Creation Museum and the Ark Encounter. This is my second attempt at a live broadcast today. It's always fun when you have phone signal problems, but that's the way it is with doing these live broadcasts through Facebook. But here we are at the Design Studios for the Ark Encounter on Kentucky Derby Day. But instead of going to the Kentucky Derby, we have a whole team of people who are working. In fact, they're working long hours right now, working during the day Saturday. Have over here, Doug Henderson is one of our lead artists, and Patrick Marsh, who's the VP of Attractions Design. And Patrick was the one that came in and designed the basic walkthrough of the Creation Museum, took my script, my two-dimensional script, and turned it into three-dimensional walkthrough at the Creation Museum. Doug was one of the early people that joined with Patrick. And what do we have here? I just want people to see the quality of what we're doing for the Ark Encounter. First of all, Patrick, how many animals are we going to have on the Ark?
About 85.
About 85 or so?
There's different counts depending on how you count the bats and some of the smaller animals. The large animals, we've got 30 pairs, but then we do have several that are for the kinds exhibit. Those are in addition. Tons of birds, and I think he's counting all the birds. I don't even know how many. And then also we have the bats, which there's 300 in some of those.
Now all the ones inside the Ark are dead, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, they never were alive, so they're not dead.
Right.
So just to give us an idea of the quality here, Doug, what do we have here?
Well, this is a completely artificial bear. It's very realistic. It almost looks like taxidermy, but it's actually a taxidermy form that's been altered significantly to make it into this extinct variety of bear. And then we've had to contract out some work, and so this was one of the pairs that we sent to a former student of mine, a friend of mine for years. She did all the fur work. She was actually pregnant while she was doing it, which is very interesting. And in fact, after she was put on the final touches, she had the baby. So she timed everything just perfectly for us.
So tell us, between you and Patrick, just name off some of the animals. People have often asked me, what animals are you going to have in the Ark? They're different size cages. How many size cages?
Well, we at least have 3 different size cages, but we have a variety of different kinds of cages as well. Some of them are for all of the taxidermy animals here, and then we have a lot that go into the walls, which are kind of like half cages in a way, I think.
Okay, so what sort of animals are going to be on the Ark that people can come and see? Because I understand there's going to be some that they're not used to seeing.
Yeah, they are. I mean, Doug is the one that can tell you the names. He and his team are the ones that have been basically just, creating the sculpture, etc. for all.
Right.
Okay, Doug, what sort of animals?
Scientific names I'm no good at. Most of these things,
just
the varieties.
Names, yeah.
Well, people are expecting there to be giraffes, and so we have some giraffes, but they're the grandparents of and much shorter necks. We have the bear kind, we have the pig kind, we have the rhinoceroses and the hippos.
And the dog kind.
And the dogs. Yeah, we have a lot of the animals
kind
that you would expect. Lots of birds.
But what are some of the ones people are not going to expect?
Well, I doubt they'll be expecting Codylorhynchus, which is a very strange looking synapsid, very odd. He looks almost like a turtle, but his form is similar to a turtle, but he's not related in any way. Just like a dolphin and a shark have similar forms, but not related in any way.
So what other sorts of interesting creatures?
I think that I'm fascinated by the synapsids in general. So we do have Dimetrodons that'll be coming on board at some point here soon. And those are something that a lot of people mistakenly think are dinosaurs, but they're actually a synapsid. And they're the ones that have the big fin down their back. And everybody's really used to seeing them as depicted as dinosaurs, but they're really not. Then we have, I love the Pachycetuses, which are the ones that look a lot like a stretched out otter or something. Their face is real long. You probably remember those. We have Placeriuses, which are also a synapsid. They're very interesting looking. And there's a whole bunch of different ways that they've been interpreted. If you see various paleo art, there's lots of ways they can be interpreted. We're going for a pretty conservative ways.
So in other words, people are going to see animals they're used to and animals they're not used to.
Oh, definitely.
And they're all very high quality.
Yeah.
Let's go into one of the wood shops here. I saw something over here and I was just wondering what this was. Okay. If we could come over here. Patrick, as I walk around here, we have some large wood shops, but I see all sorts of items. I mean, there's lots of different things they're producing.
Here are part of the garden up in those living quarters. This is going to be filled with plants inside here, and so we've got a lot of things that are growing inside.
Okay, so when they go into the living quarters, they'll actually...
There's actually a garden up there. There's actually an aviary up there. I mean, the birds are not alive; they're stuffed birds, but
Right.
they're basically all there.
The living quarters, I think people could probably spend ages just in the living quarters. There's
Yeah,
so
I
much
mean, it's
going in there.
incredible because we got Ham's bedroom, Shim's bedroom, Japheth's bedroom, Noah's and his wife's bedroom.
Ham's bedroom, not Ken Ham's bedroom.
No, not Ken Ham's. But you might sleep there one night for all I know.
What do we have over here? I see they're working on something fascinating. Let's have a look at this. I mean, this is one of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of items.
Hundreds and hundreds. I mean, you can't believe the amount of props that are in here. These are ovens. Actually, one of them is an oven for blacksmith, and the other one that we have over here is actually a cooking oven. And this is the one that's for the blacksmith itself, and you can see the little pipe that goes off the top there.
So there's a blacksmith shop.
There's a blacksmith shop in there for doing repairs, what have you. And then we have also a workshop that's in there. We have Noah's study. We have a room for all of Noah's, what do you call it, scrolls and information and all of those kinds of things. There are a lot of really informational rooms that are in there on the living quarters area.
Now I'm looking over here and there's all sorts of items. I see they're working on lots of different things. So even on Saturday they're working.
Everybody's working on Saturday from now on. That's it.
So, and I imagine they'll be working up until the night before,
Well,
before it opens.
I have a feeling somebody's going to be sleeping in Ham, Shim, and Japheth's bedrooms.
Oh,
you know?
okay, that makes sense.
I expect everybody to be working overnight for sure.
And let's see, what do we have here?
Crop area in here, and these are some of the plants that are actually going to be going into those little boxes that you looked at.
Oh, okay. And what is our artist doing here?
I'm applying fake dirt. This is made out of glue and sawdust.
Glue and sawdust makes fake dirt. Okay. And
Little
are
black
these, what, lettuce leaves?
Lettuce.
Are they
made
going
out
to
of
stay
rubber.
fresh?
Forever.
Forever, for as long as the Ark is there. Okay, and I see over here, let's go over here. Doug, do you know what we're doing over here with all these pots that we have here?
They are always updating things here, but right now they're focused on creating ways to seal the pots. So they've got wooden lids with fabric, and then they're making some over here that are a little bit fancier. They're using plaster in a way that normally you would use for pottery, but they're making lids, custom lids for these jars also.
Now, Patrick, you wouldn't like to even take a guess at how many artifacts that they're actually producing? I mean, how many items?
I'd say that Alan Green by himself probably has over 10,000 items, and that guy never stops creating things.
And that,
Between him and Kristen, I think that we have bought out every prop shop and made everything that we can imagine to be able to stick in there that Nova would have
so
taken
there's
with him.
thousands of
Oh,
items.
there are thousands of items. It's unbelievable. These guys have been working
If
for months
they've
and
just
months
produced
and months.
10,000, how many have the others produced?
Something like that. I mean, you'll be very surprised when people go in there. They'll see incredible detail of props and things that Noah would have taken. It's going to be very, very realistic.
Wow, what about this down here? What do we have here?
This is a little garden area. You can see plants inside here. And this is kind of where probably Noah's wife worked in the garden and kind of took care of some of the plants that she brought along with her, etc. And
So
you
this is really detailed.
Oh, it's very, very
It's not just a
detailed.
matter of saying, oh, Noah lived here. I mean,
No, this is really trying to give you an idea what the way that they could have lived within the ship itself. Because they're up on the third floor, so they've got sunlight coming in and they got fresh air coming in. So
That's
they really could have had plants. I mean, they could have grown, some vegetables and things to eat along the way.
wow, amazing. Hey, Doug, how about you take us in and show us that hyena? Just another one of the animals. Here they are working on some dioramas out here, over here, and all sorts of interesting things being made there. Let's sneak in here right now. And here we go. This one's not even finished yet, right?
Not quite. Ben's working on it. He and Jesse did the sculpting of their taxidermy forms that they altered and then they furred, and Ben has started the painting on this one. And if you want to see what they look like before paint, you can check out this one over here.
Oh, okay, so this one down here is before they paint. This one's after paint, although it's not even finished yet.
It's not quite done.
But
And there's going to be a lot of little whiskery
But
things.
they look so real.
Yeah, they're doing a phenomenal job. Yeah.
It's just so amazing to see how real they look. Here we have
Jesse's working on
Jesse working on a sloth. Okay.
starting.
He looks a little naked right now.
Yeah. He's
But-
going to have some beautiful fur. It's in that box right there.
Okay, so the fur is down here.
Yep.
Oh, I see. And then they take that, and I see we have a pig up there.
Yep.
still working on the pig. There's a lot of work yet to do on the pig there, and well, and the giraffes, of course. I think we've seen those before, and we'll just run in here for a moment and see what we've got in here. And I think we saw this last time, but you made a lot of progress. Here we go.
More progress.
Well, let's look at him from the front. Wow. So what exactly do we have here, Doug?
Well, this is an extinct ape. It's a palm walking ape, and I think it's pronounced Pieropithecus, but it's representing the grandparent of the modern apes. And I'm inserting all the hairs one at a time, which we talked about last time.
You're inserting these hairs in the head one at a time.
That's right.
One
So
at a time.
If you get all the way up on it, you can see it looks like it's just growing right out of the skin.
It must take you millions of years.
Well,
no, I don't believe in millions of years.
no.
It can't take you millions of years.
No.
And we got to open an Ark July 7th.
That's right. So he'll be trimmed more and painted. So he'll be darker than this. We always start light, more dark.
And here we have another one of our artists back here. Yep. Patrick, do you know what he's working on here? You're the VP.
It looks like a giant sloth, but he's going to tell you.
It's an
what it is.
Anisodon.
Yeah. It's not a sloth. It's not even related.
It's not a sloth, not even related to a sloth. You have to get on the ladder to work on it.
Yes. I think it's the biggest animal we have in terms of mass and size and stuff.
Okay. This will be in one of the cages, I presume.
Did you see the 3D models last
And
time?
oh yeah, let's have a look at these 3D models. Patrick, can you tell us about where these are going to be?
All of these are, this is kind of a bacchanalian feast right in here. This is part of the exhibit of all the things of pre-flood society. It's kind of representative of a lot of the things that were happening during the time just before the flood. So that's really kind of what's going on here. Everybody's sort of reclining and having a good time, having had a lot of wine and just kind of playing around. And
In other words, rebelling against God.
absolutely,
rejecting God.
that's what it's all about.
And that'll be part of the pagan world before the flood.
Right.
So,
They're
now,
starting to make food and goblets and lamps and stuff. They're to your left over there, Tommy.
Yeah, just look at the detail that goes into all the props and things there.
Hand sculpted food.
You want to talk about all the props in the place. You start adding up all of these things that go into the dioramas, it's getting into the millions here.
I mean, really, and they produce all these little things. The detail
Yeah,
is
the
just
the
mind-blowing.
detail is incredible. One of the most incredible things is now, they're designing all these things on tablets in the computer, and then they actually go to a 3D printing machine, and they print all of these pieces out as many as you want once you've created that form, and then they just have to paint them all up. But we're doing things that we couldn't have done when we did the museum, because we did everything literally by hand, one by one.
So 140,000 square feet inside the Ark, filled with world-class exhibits, and the amount of detail that's going into these exhibits is extraordinary.
It is. I think it'll rival any museum anywhere in the world with the details of what we're doing.
I don't think I've ever seen anything with this sort of detail. I mean, there are places that obviously have done a lot of work, but through the whole Ark and the uniqueness of the Ark, it's going to be amazing.
The finish on these dioramas is some of the best I've seen anywhere. I've seen a lot.
And Doug, yeah, you were a professor at an art school, weren't you?
Yeah, and this is as good as anything I've ever seen.
Well, that is fantastic. Well, we've only seen, what would you say? Today we've had a little glimpse at a tiny fraction of what there's going to be in the Ark.
Yeah, I'd say so. You've seen, a variety of things that would probably be in, I'm going to say, a third of the Ark.
But that they're going to be in the third, but there's a lot more to go with them.
Oh, absolutely a lot more to go. Yeah, because these are only just pieces within the scene itself, so you haven't seen even the whole scene.
So it's a fraction of what's being done here.
Yeah.
So, well, that's amazing. Hey, opens July 7, ArkEncounter.com, ArkEncounter.com. And you can go there and find out a lot more information about it. For the first 40 days and 40 nights, we have daytime entry from 9 to 4, and then evening time entry from 5 to midnight. And you can get your tickets for that. A lot of people are getting combo tickets to the Ark and the museum. We'll come to both. And at the end of May, we're going to release our special 7-day unlimited ticket, and that is a super, super deal. So keep watch for that as well. Well, I'll sign off here from our design studios on Kentucky Derby Day. You probably don't even know the names of any of the horses running in the Kentucky Derby, would you?
I don't, but my wife knows them all.
Oh, she does.
Yeah, she's
Oh, she's
probably waiting till I come home
she's a
tonight.
horse lover, isn't she,
She's a
Patrick?
horse lady,
Yeah,
yes, she is.
I would have no idea. Actually, in Australia, we have the Melbourne Cup. I think the whole country stops for the Melbourne Cup. Well, over here, I think the whole country just about stops for the Kentucky Derby.
Around here.
In Louisville, Kentucky, particularly around here. That's true. Okay, signing off from the Ark Encounter Studios right here in northern Kentucky.